Kyle Lesniak with EcoVapor.
EcoVapor, correct?
Yes.
All right. And Kyle, where are you guys out of? Kind of your headquarters?
Yeah, our corporate office is in Denver, Colorado, but we also have locations in Midland, Texas, Lindsay, Oklahoma, and Greeley, Colorado as well.
Okay, great. Now, we were talking a little bit off the air quickly, and you're down at a conference in Houston, huh? Just give me kind of a little 30, 60-second overview of what the conference is about and kind of what the main themes are.
Yeah. So it's been a great show. It's the 2018 Onshore Facilities Conference. And, really our prime demographic, everyone here is either a production engineer or a facilities manager with the, operators around the U.S. And a lot of great talks about, how people should be going forward with their facilities in the future, how to think about new designs, new technologies that are coming out, and just a lot of good discussion and a lot of good folks to talk to.
With so much changing information in the oil and gas industry, a question I do like to ask people is pretty specific one, and since you kind of brought up your customers are down there, who specifically is your customer? A lot of times people, kind of get confused at who their actual customer is these days.
Sure. Yeah, we run the gambit. We talk to everyone from C-suite executives all the way down to, field operations folks, because they all have a hand in it. The corporate office wants to see more profit and lower emissions. And, the field folks want to see some of that stuff too. And so we really try our best to talk to everyone, but I would say the majority of our conversations happen amongst the production engineering, facilities engineering, and facilities managers.
Okay. And just do me a favor, describe what your product is. I was on your website, ecovapors.com, and
yes.
RS, I should say afterwards, for recovery systems. So EcoVaporsRS.com. And, I kind of just a general overview of reducing methane emissions and that sort of thing. That's kind of what you guys are promoting on your homepage, correct?
Yeah, essentially. So our technology allows operators to truly capture 100% of their emissions on site. So we can be thought of as the next evolution from vapor recovery towers, which a lot of folks use these days. But those are only so effective. And so our technology allows all of the oil and gas to go directly to the tanks on location. We can pull directly from those tanks and capture all of the gas and treat the gas so that it can be sold instead of flared on site.
How's that going?
It's great. We're a relatively young company, so we're spent the last year or so really just trying to make sure that everyone knows our name and starts to recognize us. But things are certainly starting to pick up. We are placing more and more units around the U.S. We've got a lot in the Permian Basin so far. We're located in South Texas in the Eagle Ford. We've got a bunch of units in the DJ Basin, and we're starting to get into the Powder River as well.
Powder River in Wyoming?
Yes, yeah.
I heard that's making a little bit of a comeback. Are you guys part of that comeback, or were you there kind of beforehand?
A bit of both. We've had a presence up there, but certainly with the state of things in the industry, all of the economics and changing winds as they are, a lot of folks are starting to look at the Powder as a potential place to play going forward.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you know why that is? Did some BLM regulation change and kind of open up the doors to some land, or is it just the economics are finally there? Some new innovative products have been able to come out and capitalize the Powder River. But I've just been seeing a lot of headlines, and I haven't talked to anybody yet, so you're kind of the first person I've talked to that's out in the Powder River. So is there kind of a secret sauce going on out there, or timing, or?
It's a bit of both. I think there's an economic break at this point, certainly. There are a few operators that have been up there for a while that I think have really found and unlocked the key to producing out of the Turner Formation and others. So, there are wells up there. They're, starting to produce 1,000 barrels a day. Which starting to get up into Permian numbers for sure. So with the cost coming down in the latest downturn, it's just become more attractive to drill up there.
Powder River, folks, it's not dead. It's back, kicking alive. Heard right here on the Crude Life. So, all right. How about the Bakken? You're in the Rockies, and that's kind of considered the Bakken up there. And I was just reading their director's cut, and they missed the mark on their flaring. They've got state regulations to, I think it's 85%, and they were at like 87. So they had record numbers of gas and oil last month in production, but they missed their mark. So I don't know what happens after that. But my point is the Bakken has like state regulations to invite companies like yours to go and solve the problem of flaring. Now, getting your foot in the door is a different story, but do you guys have any success out there or tried anything out there?
No, we haven't. We're not quite up there yet. The challenge with the Bakken is just the pipeline takeaway capacity issues. That's something that we rely on. Is if you're going to capture 100% of the gas on site, you've obviously got to put it somewhere. And so if the pipelines are overloaded and you can't send it down the pipe, unfortunately the answer up there is flaring at the moment. One solution we do offer, though, and we're currently doing this in the DJ Basin, is partnering with mobile refrigeration unit companies to allow those refrigeration units to pull the tank gas, which is much more rich, and therefore you can pull more NGLs out of it by refrigerating them, and it just makes the refrigeration units even more economic.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is you guys are kind of the middleman, right, to whoever the distribution company would be, whether they're going to move it out of there by truck or they're going to turn it into a liquid right on site, for example. I know a lot of times they do that as well. Turn around and gas their own units right there on the site. So it's really if a good third party can be found, they can really do whatever with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How's your economics looking? You guys have been a new company, so you probably paying attention at some of your costs and everything. Are you making some money for some companies out there?
Yeah, absolutely. The great thing about our technology is it allows operators to do right by the environmental side of things and reduce their emissions by hundreds of tons per year while adding more profit to the bottom line. So by capturing that additional, say 15 to 20% of gas that they're currently flaring on site, they're not only paying for our unit, but they're also adding more profit dollars to their bottom line because it's currently a waste product. So by adding it to the revenue stream, it goes straight to the bottom.
How about some of your other products you guys have? Do you have other products that you guys offer?
Well, we had our company originally got its start on the VRU side. So we originally offered VRUs for the compression of gas, and then we kept running into pipeline issues that they wouldn't take the gas because it had oxygen entrained in it. So that's what prompted us to create the oxygen removal reactor that we have, which originally was a part of our VRU skid. But during this latest downturn, we had a lot of operators, they had 700 VRUs stacked up in their yard. They didn't need any more compression, but they told us that they could still use the oxygen removal part of it. And so that prompted us to take the oxygen removal reactor off the skid and make it standalone so it can tie with any compression system that you have on site. And that's what we have today.
You mentioned the environmental part of things, and you guys have quite a history with that. I was looking at your awards. I mean, you've got environmental awards going back to 2012. So talk to me a little bit about, your mindset when it comes to the environment, and does innovation play a pretty big part of this?
Yeah, absolutely. And the environmental side of things is really what drove us as a company and created the company. We live in Denver, and it's a beautiful city, beautiful area. But the past few years, we've just seen this gray haze cover up the mountains, and you can't even see the mountains in the afternoon. And part of that, that comes from a lot of different sources. So it's not just the oil and gas industry by any means, but we just wanted to do our part to help clean things up as best we could. And so, we're just trying to do our best to allow operators to capture everything on site and try to make money while we're doing it.
Any final thoughts?
Just one thought I'd add, I guess, is, flaring was originally put in place as a emergency procedure on sites. And over the years, it seems to have become more of a standard operating procedure for these operators. Some are doing it because they don't have a place to put the gas, but a lot of them are doing it because, there's oxygen entrained in that gas. So I just want everyone to know that our technology helps in that case, and our goal is to help make flaring become an emergency procedure again and not the standard operating procedure that it is today.
Well said, well said. Now, how can people get in touch with you if they have any questions, or maybe they might want to use your services?
Yeah. So our website has a couple of buttons. One is, if you have site information specific to a site you're thinking about, you can put that into the data entry form on our website. Otherwise, there's a simple information block that you can put your contact information into, and that comes directly to me. If you want to come direct anyway, my email is Kyle Lesniak at EcoVaporRS.com. That's KYLELESNIAK at EcoVaporRS.com.